We did it!
We did it.
Hooray!
A couple real-time tweaks to the numbers.
Yep. Just, I'm not sure what the upload speed here is. I haven't checked that yet, but I knew what I had set was probably aggressive. So.
Yeah. It's not to what you had it set. How's that?
Right. Anyway, welcome to Talking Heads, everyone. Episode 399, your once-weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Tom.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining on this Wednesday night or in podcast form over on Spotify or wherever your favorite podcasts are found. If you've never seen the show before, we talk beer, we talk tech, we talk games, pop culture, entertainment, sometimes some Star Trek, if you couldn't tell from the decor. You are chomping at the bit, aren't you?
Well, I realize you have the same beer.
We do have the same beer.
Because I think you bought a different one, too.
Yeah. Well, I had options.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. This one's from here, though, so I figured I'd go with this.
Yeah.
So...
Well, and at dinner we were talking about people not liking IPs who taking pine cones. I was like, oh, he's got pine cones.
Yeah.
I like the pine. I like to eat a pine cone.
Right. He goes, yeah, it's like biting into a pine cone. And we're like, I want that one.
Yeah, which one?
Exactly. Anyway, if you haven't seen the show before, I already did that spiel. What's next? Gosh.
It's been a long day.
We do drink alcohol on the show. If you're drinking along with us, alcoholic or not, let us know in the chat. We'll give some early show shout-outs as we go along. Last but not least, if you'd like to take part in the super secret chat and the even more super secret after party, think about joining the Patreon. Link is down in the video description. As a bonus, you'll get exclusive access to my Discord server where you can chat with myself, John, Rhett, Steve, heck, even Tom is over there, and join the awesome community that hangs out over there.
Yeah, tag me and I'll make an appearance.
That's right.
Because I'm not good at Discord.
Yeah,
I respond to tags, but I'm not tagged them.
Yeah, you can Beetlejuice him and he'll show
yes,
up.
only once. Three times I'll still respond.
Yeah. 3 times he's like, who's blowing up my phone?
Yeah. They really want to talk to me.
All right, now you can open your beer.
Now I can open my beer.
Yeah.
Jeff made me wait because I would make sure I follow the rules.
So this is from Wicked Weed Brewing. It is from, was it Asheville? Yeah, Asheville, North Carolina.
Pine cones.
Yeah. This is the Pernicious IPA, 7.3%. So, and we hear it tastes like pine cones, so I'm going to judge.
I'm going to say it's good.
Yeah.
Maybe I just like pine cones.
Not nearly as pine cone as I would have expected.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a very bitter IPA, and it's actually a little bit dry.
Yes, and the people at the table also did not like a smokestack. Like
No.
we were talking about whiskey with smokestack, and they didn't like that. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
We have different palates.
Yeah, the person who said it tastes like pine cones was the person who was drinking like a Miller Lite.
Yeah. So
yeah. Yeah, actually not all that piney. It's
this is dry.
Yeah, definitely dry.
But I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So this has been a fun event where I have my badge on. So
yes.
We're at the 45 Drives Creator event.
3rd annual Creator Summit.
Annual.
This time in, gosh, where are we at? What's the city again? Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yeah, I think about where we're at.
Yeah.
What state are we in again?
I don't even know. I think this is my 14th trip of the year. And 3rd in 4 weeks. Like, I have been freaking everywhere this year. So yeah, it's been a year of travel.
Yeah.
This
time zone is different for you, so
yes, yeah, definitely. So 3rd annual Creator Summit. Thank you again, 45 Drives, for having us out. This is my first time in North Carolina, but every year they invite some YouTube creators, some industry insiders, some of the customers, and whatnot. And we give talks. We kind of collaborate. We talk about what's good, what's bad, and usually we leave with me giving them a new product idea, which you'll see in about 9 months, and I think we did that again tonight. So Brett has its work cut out for him. Anyway, we do have a super chat already from Jay. Thank you so much. $10 super chat. Working on the Boulevard 6th Glass Quadruple, 10.2%. And very excited about tonight's Lord Systems collab. You got a fan.
Oh.
I got a feeling that tonight's going to be a good night.
Yeah, all the creator stuff and everything. No new product idea. Well, no. You got to say what Wendell. I don't know if there's public info yet. What Wendell built. Let's just say Wendell says, "I'm not going to get too techie," and then pulls out a PCB board that he's making.
Yeah.
So,
he goes, "I'm not going to be too technical at my talk, but here's a PCB that I designed to solve a very niche problem that only Wendell would care about."
Yes, with dip switches on it because Wendell didn't want it to have any auto attenuation, so he's like, "It needs to have dip switches so I can exactly
dial in the frequencies of everything."
Yeah. So it's kind of funny. He's always a cool guy to hang out with. Always great to talk to him.
Yeah.
I don't see him in person as much anymore, and I need to fix that. Me and him just don't. Well, me and you actually. Besides, last time I seen you was the creators.
Right, it was a year
ago.
So
we don't crisscross paths as much.
Yeah.
I trying to decide what I want to be when I grow up, and so I got to figure out like, do I want to get more into hardware? Because you went to the event in Taipei.
I went to Computex. I also went to FMS this year, the Flash Memory Summit.
Okay.
Or Future Memory and Storage, as it's known now. So that was fun. We got to get you that one next year.
Yeah,
I think that was a good one.
I could do. I read that one. I also what's the one where it's the big media one that Jeff Geerling was at? It's the
when was that?
It's the media show they do where it's all the broadcast media people combined with Seneca.
There's it's not SEMA. It's oh gosh, what is the NHB? Not something like annual show in Vegas with all the camera people. Yeah.
Yes, it's all the camera people.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of the storage people there. Oddly, Unify was there, which because they invited me to go. I had another commitment, so
I've always meant to make it out to that show. I haven't yet though. It's one that just hasn't aligned with my schedule.
That was my problem. I had another event already booked, and I'm like, I can't.
Yep.
But I will be going. I have not lightened up on my hacking events I'm going to. Those are a whole other thing. But not DEF CON.
A wild Wendell appeared. Do you want to say hi?
We're streaming?
We're streaming, yeah.
Hello! Have you got all of the storage?
We'll talk later. Have fun storming the castle. So glad to be back a third time. I think you and I have been the only ones who have been here all three times, although you weren't at the first one. You were there remotely.
Yeah, because I do dumb things on motorcycles.
Because you were still trying to figure out what you wanted to do when you grew up.
Yeah, and doing dumb things on motorcycles is a thing I do.
Yeah.
I still do it, but I did it and crashed to the point where I probably could have traveled, but because I'd never been that broken before where I hospitalized myself, I actually left I think it was like a day after the crash. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to make it because I don't know how long this takes to heal. I just know all my ribs are broken and my arm's in a sling and I got bones broken in the arm too. So I was like, I don't know how long this takes to heal. I don't know. Doctor said I'm not supposed to fly, but I don't know for how long.
Yeah. You looked good by the time you got on camera.
Yeah, I was fine. I could take my sling off then.
Yeah.
I hated having a sling on, so I took it off a lot. Yeah. Which didn't seem to make the doctor happy, but I was like, the bones have to hold the place, the doctor would say. And I'm like, well, I'm holding them in place, so you're doing this.
Exactly. Cheese from Chips and Cheese chimes in with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, George.
Thank you.
I feel you on the travel. This year has been brutal. Yeah, Cheese and I have been like to every event together. It seems like we went to GTC and GDC, which happened at the same time this year. One in San Jose, one in San Francisco. We hit both events on the same week. Gosh, what else did we do? I've been to San Jose, I think 4 times this year already. I've been down there more than anything else.
It's weird because I've been to Florida 4 times this year because that's where the MSP IT events are held. So I'm always going to Florida. I was in Nashville. Nashville is definitely interesting.
Never been to Nashville.
If you like music, go once. I've been there. I mean, I went there for vacation because my wife was picking places. I went there, and it's definitely kind of a neat scene. But it's also I was done with it after after day one. But we did find, because it's all these country bars. I'm not the biggest country fan. But it's okay, I'll go enjoy myself and have some fun. Yeah. But we found a Irish pub there And that's where we went the next couple times.
Okay.
Because it was hidden. They had no live music. They were like the anti-Nashville, like cool London/Irish pub type thing, and we enjoyed the hell out of that place.
Yeah.
I liked it because it's a pre because it's so loud and Nashville's a very loud place.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's myself, Tom, Wendell, Will from what is this? Space
Rex.
Space Rex, that's right.
Yeah.
And got quite a few other people here. I will say, it's kind of been announced, and I did get permission to say this. There is one other creator that will be joining us on Friday.
Oh yeah, because it's official. It's on the website.
Yeah, it is official. It's on the website. Let me just click over here. Hold on. I will find where's the macOS screen share, window capture, where is Firefox? Hold on, we'll get it. There it is.
Yes.
Guess who we gonna meet on Friday?
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey, yeah. Oh boy.
I love, so in one of the podcasts, during an interview, he got asked about that.
Yeah.
About his incident with Disney. And his answer was beautiful. Mm-hmm. He says, we came to an agreement.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean? He goes, an agreement.
Yeah.
And he says, and then he went in a little further. He says, what you don't understand about Disney. He goes, it is not a company built on a mouse. It is a company built on lawyers and built on other lawyers. And Disney once sued Disney, and Disney won.
Yeah. What's funny is I do understand some of the Disney lore and the bureaucracy and everything behind it. I grew up in Eugene, Oregon. I'm a fan of the Oregon Ducks. I grew up literally on campus. And Oregon has a very familiar looking mascot if you're a Disney fan, because he's modeled after Donald Duck. Back in the 40s, there was a standing verbal agreement between Walt Disney himself and the administrators of the University of Oregon that they could use Donald Duck as their mascot as long as they didn't call him Donald. And so we had the Duck, the Oregon Duck. That's his official name. This came to a head somewhere around like 2010 because Disney again realized that, well, Oregon was getting kind of their leap to prominence in college football. Also, basketball runs at the same time, and so all of a sudden it's like national media is on there, and the Duck is being broadcast on national TV all the time. And Disney went, hey, that looks an awful lot like Donald. And so they're digging through the records, and they find no written documentation that Oregon's allowed to use the Duck.
And the Duck?
The Duck is great. The Duck is great. Anyway, people at the University of Oregon managed to dig up a photo of Walt Disney and the, at the time, president of the University of Oregon shaking hands in front of the Duck. And the lawyers and the judge accepted that as evidence.
Nice.
And so now they have basically the same standing agreement of you're allowed to use the Duck, you can't call him Donald. Also, they're not allowed to use that Duck in national media. They can only use it within the state of Oregon. And so they can sell merch with the Duck within the state of Oregon. But you notice that after 2010, we got a remodeled Duck. He still has the bandana, he still has the sailor cap, but it's a caricature of what the Duck is. And so they came to an agreement.
Yeah, an agreement was reached.
An agreement was reached.
Yes.
Can you elaborate? No, I can't.
Just an agreement was reached.
That's right.
Well, you don't want to revisit that agreement.
Yeah. Eric sends over a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. No message, but I appreciate it. And David Ashwell sends over $2. Thank you so much, David. Two of my favorite home lab channels, or two of my favorite channels for setting my home lab. Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It's always great when I get to sit next to Tom. We like hanging out.
Yeah, we nerded out last night about Star Trek, DS9. It was a great debate.
Yeah. There was no debate. DS9 is best Trek.
Yeah, DS9 is best Trek.
That's right.
But he hasn't seen Battlestar Galactica, and I encourage that is among the shows. I can't remember if you've seen The Expanse. I've now forgot. You haven't, I think.
I haven't, no.
Yeah, The Expanse is worth watching, too. We're talking about good sci-fi.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough of it. So we were talking about how with Star Trek TNG, we had to embrace the flaws because there wasn't any other sci-fi.
Right.
So what was our comparison? We're judging it now under our eyes of having seen DS9 and other things.
Right.
But there wasn't anything. There was only the original series.
Right.
And then TNG.
Right.
And I'm not going to say any of the 80s sci-fi was amazing. It doesn't really hold up. If you have any dreams you're holding on to.
Well, I mean, there's Alf. Alf holds up, I think.
Alf does. But I don't like some of the movies and things like that, with the exception, because I know there's a bunch of Star Wars fans, but with the exception of the Star Wars, there's not a lot of other really good sci-fi. And if you think it's good, rewatch it and you'll think differently.
I have pissed off nerds with this take before. Look, I like Mad Max. I like Mad Max as a premise, as a story, as a lot of different things. Thunderdome and Road Warrior, 2 fantastic movies. The original Mad Max is hard to watch.
Yeah.
It is
Thunderdome is my favorite.
Yeah, the original Mad Max is a movie that had almost zero budget. You didn't know if it was sci-fi or a weird buddy cop movie or a post-apocalyptic, or why is this guy dressed funny? Like, there was no, like, explanation for any of it, nor was there any world building around it.
No.
Like, they just, like...
And it's very different than the other ones.
Yeah, they're like, this guy's gonna be a cop for some reason. And Mel Gibson was there.
There is a guy... We have the Cars and Coffee meetup like many people do, and there is a guy with a Mad Max car. From the first one.
Oh, nice.
The Road Warrior. He does have the Road Warrior car.
Nice.
Unfortunately... It is also fake because it does not actually have a full-blown turbo on it.
Oh, come on.
I know. It's all mounted on there to look real, but it doesn't turn.
Yeah. Mac Telecom's in chat as well.
Oh.
Hello,
cool.
sir.
Hey. My other we're hanging out with Canadians, and our Canadian friends are saying hi online.
That's right. Yeah, they're all coming out of the woodwork today. Thunderdome had the best song. I don't think that's up for debate. I think that's absolutely true.
Yeah, I can rewatch Thunderdome. It's been a minute since I watched that. 1 man enters, 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Right. Witness me, blood bag. Yeah, exactly.
Who runs Border Town? I don't know if my son's seen that. My son is almost 19, so we've been going over some of the movies that I love from the 80s.
Yeah,
he comes up and wants to watch them, which I think is cool too.
Yeah. We were talking today about my 3 kids, and is it Bluey in your household?
Oh.
And we did have a Bluey like 18 months, but that seems to have passed. So my oldest, my 12-year-old, is on to like K-pop Demon Hunter. That's her current jam of choice. My 8-year-old, little bit. It's really funny. She has started gravitating towards like the late 90s cartoons, like Johnny Bravo and Fairly Odd Parents and Rugrats, and like she's been binging those like crazy.
If you want to go too deep and too far into analysis of kids' cartoons, Malcolm Gladwell has a podcast called The Revisionist History, and he covers all kinds of topics.
Yeah.
And one of them that really struck me was Paw Patrol. I'm like, wait a minute, Malcolm Gladwell, the famous author, New York Times bestseller with 100 books or whatever he's got. Like, he's a pretty famous guy. He decides to cover this as a topic, and this is very different. He covers very deep, thoughtful topics. He has this one episode about Paw Patrol, but he does a whole psychological analysis, and it's really interesting because I did not know this. Is I've never suffered through enough Paw Patrol to really think it. He watched a lot of it to figure this out.
Oh, I have.
You suffered through this.
Yeah, I've suffered through Paw Patrol, but I'm curious to hear this.
The whole thing, he says, what makes it different than the other cartoons and maybe the era that we grew up on, he says, there are too many short story arcs where we have our characters getting into a problem, but the solution is presented so soon after the problem and solved so easily. They actually say it's psychologically different because it's not challenging you as much.
Yeah.
He goes all the way back to Mr. Rogers, so set up for a scenario where the scenario walks you through an episode, and maybe there's a couple side steps or different choices that you were given. And other cartoons follow these story arcs, even if you're watching.
So right about that.
Yeah, He talked about even like I believe he covered some of the ones from which would have been like Roadrunner or any of those. You know, we're always after Roadrunner, but there's a whole lot of, when you think about it, all the different things Roadrunner's trying to the Coyote's trying to get the Roadrunner. Well, all those story arcs are a lot deeper, and they're episodic through the whole episode. It's a whole series of things coming to a conclusion. Bluey's like, have a challenge, solve the challenge. Have the challenge, solve the challenge. Or Paw Patrol, and he covered some of the other adjacent cartoons. That's what makes them so different than ones we watch.
You're totally right, because Paw Patrol, within 120 seconds, you're presented with whatever the antagonist or whatever the setup is.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to go from a literary sense, man versus nature, man versus thing, it sets up that within the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
The problem is, Ryder gets on his little thing and goes, Paw Patrol assemble, and all the Paw Patrol joins, and then he reiterates what the problem is, and he goes, we need to do X, Y, Z. And that's the solution.
Yeah. Well,
there's no figuring it out. They just go do it.
That was a year ago. I listened to something of Reverend Hunter, but like he is an academic. So he has like the Harvard scientists and psychological people asking him to watch an episode with him to go over this and explain.
That's funny.
He takes like the people who would be analyzing something really deep, but they're all focused on this cartoon.
I kind of want to see Lindsay Ellis do a Paw Patrol breakdown now.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
Yeah, so it's like he does the level of deep that she does.
Yeah.
So, which I so appreciate that. It just makes it really interesting.
My wife walked in one time and goes, "Are you listening to a psychoanalysis of Disney's Hercules?" And I went, "You're goddamn right, I am."
Yes. I watched a handful of her videos on topics. I read a lot of technical stuff, and I've spent my career in tech, but I actually have found the books I read a lot now. I just finished like Seth Godin's This Is Strategy. I do a lot of psychology books and a lot of strategy books that are think deeply psychological. There's one called How Minds Change, but it's also what leads into the presentation I'm doing tomorrow. It's about understanding how we got here, for why so many things are in the cloud. There's reasons why. There's systems, and the system likes to default because it creates these loops. So that's a whole strategy book that Seth Godin did. Is actually, oddly, at the last hacker conference that I was at, Seth Godin was a speaker. He's not a hacker. He's well known for his books on marketing. He's a New York Times bestseller. He's a very sought after speaker. I learned he's $100,000 for him to do a keynote, and he mostly says no. Because he's a hard to get speaker, but he spoke at a hacking conference because he likes hackers and he did it for free.
Look, if you guys need him at a keynote and he says no, you can call me. I'll do it for 3/4 price. I'll give you 25% off.
3/4 price. But I actually got to meet Seth Godin too, because after he came off stage, because he just likes hackers. He goes, "You guys are all diverse thinkers." So he hung out with us. I got a chocolate bar from him, which is a whole other
nice.
a whole other tangent I can go on about that. Because he has a locally sourced chocolate. And it's got all these different cool sayings of wisdom on it that are really cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, but no, it's all about the systems. I think a lot about that, and it's what leads me into those books, because we were all sitting, me, you, and Wendell are sitting at the table that I kind of gesture at sitting over there.
Yeah.
And we talked about how it's so hard to convince people of a good idea. Like the idea Wendell had that he couldn't make happen. He couldn't make happen, not because it was a good idea or it wasn't a good idea, but because you couldn't convince people to change what they were continuing to do in the pattern they were in. And so I think about, how do you disrupt those patterns and how do you do it? So that's even part of what my slides are about tomorrow.
Nice.
Is a little bit of that of what got us to where we are. And how do we get people out of the loop of where we are to bring to where you want them to be? And so those books always make me think about that. It's a weird side hobby. I started doing it, but I also will tell any of you, if you're wondering if that matters for your tech career, I know people who are far more technical and far smarter than me in terms of like that, being able to do those things. But a lot of times their career limiter is their inability to communicate.
And
you know that. You're a good communicator. Just why you're on here. So
I try. I dabble.
Yeah, you dabble. But it's all those things that you, if you figure that out younger, and I was lucky enough to have people tell me these things like 20 years ago, it elevated my tech career. And so hopefully this helps someone. I'll get off my soapbox and rant on this stuff.
If you're a decision maker, I don't think I'm going to be talking to too many people who are like not in tech right now, but like manage tech people or have tech people under their wing. Like, but I might. One of the best articles I ever read, and forgive me, I'm forgetting who wrote this. They said one thing that you need to do in your organization is if you have tech people, take one of your tech people and just have them observe a board meeting within your company. Because tech people, the way their minds think, the problem solving that they have, they are instant bullshit detectors.
Yeah.
That they will smell BS from a mile away. And a lot of us aren't shy about sharing that because we've all sat at the board meetings and like, oh, we need to, circle back on the synergy of this company. And you can go, you're just throwing out BS words.
I definitely was the one because I had the computer skills to do this. I had a Excel spreadsheet and I made this and got in trouble. I made it like a bingo card for the meetings, and a couple of other people I handed them. I worked in corporate briefly. Let's just say Tom was not a fit for corporate. But I made these and they were fun because the owners had these words, and it was like they used them way too much. So it was always like who could get their bingo card full based on how that meeting was going to go.
That's amazing.
And my favorite time is when
I never did that, but I did consider it.
Yeah, I did that one. The one I really got in trouble for, though, was I started a betting pool because back in the day, you could just observe passwords. This is, got to remember, I worked in enterprise tech in 2000. So I was like NT4 servers being migrated to things like that.
Oh, hold on. We dropped.
We dropped.
For a second, yeah.
Oh, no. Wah, wah, wah. Lower it some more.
Yeah, let me go 55. See if that goes.
See if we catch up. And we're pinging, so.
Yeah.
And we're pinging 40 millisecond?
80.
My glass, 80.
84, yeah.
Okay. My glasses aren't on.
Let me refresh here.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Let us know if we're still streaming because my preview window started spinning on us. So I'll tell you in a second. Is YouTube having problems?
No. It didn't reload your stream.
No, it didn't. Hello, YouTube. Stand by, folks. If it doesn't say we're dropping frames in OBS. We've only dropped 86 frames all stream. Okay, I think my mods just pinged me. Let's see.
Do you?
No?
Yeah, are we live?
Try to get
Is YouTube going anywhere?
Yeah, YouTube is still struggling. We got 25 meg upload, so I think we're still good. Stream is still fine, 0 drops. Okay, so my YouTube preview window is dead. So I am now without chat.
We open up a new tab. Maybe that tab's broken.
It might be. Because
they're all sandbox. So
yeah, let me just circle back. Live stream. Yeah, it says we're live. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
okay, there we go.
So it's actually just that died.
Okay, yeah, the tab died. My stream preview completely cut out on me.
So
okay,
we'll do 2 things real quick. One, I'll finish the story. So back in 2000, I worked in there. You could see passwords, and so you could also see password failures. So Tom created a thing because this is fun. I wanted to see who was on the leaderboard for typing a password wrong the most amount of times, and I would have a collection of what they typed in.
Nice.
And I remember Ruth being on there. Ruth would type in the most random things. Now her password was her boyfriend's name and a couple numbers.
Yeah.
But she typed the most random other things in, and I'd look at the keys, going, "Is she like one key off?" No, Ruth was just like,
yeah.
Whoo. But when we found out that Tom had a betting board on this, I just remember the CEO coming into my office, just swinging the door open. "My employees are not for your amusement." I was like, "Oh boy, they are definitely for my amusement. What am I caught doing?" No.
No, you go, "Oh no, what happened?" And you can't take bets on their passwords. You're like, okay, good. You haven't found out the other thing yet.
So here's something really funny too that I'm going to show you because he just happened to message me. And look at the name.
Okay.
Crosby Loggins. Now, who else would you know with that name? Maybe someone in the danger zone has that last name.
Yes.
That's his son, and he's an IT company, and he's a fan of mine, and he's a friend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I've hung out with him a bunch of times. And
Danger zone?
Yeah. Oh, there's every
little danger zone.
If we can make any reference or joke when I meet him about it involving his dad or something, he's a super nice guy, super cool.
You need to call him C-Log.
Yeah.
So in Archer, I don't know if you've seen Archer, the show.
Yeah.
Kenny Loggins did a guest appearance, and Archer called him K-Log. You need to call him C-Log.
C-Log.
Next time you see him.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably see him in a couple weeks.
Nice. Hey, C-Log, danger zone.
Yeah, when when I first met him, I'm like, oh, like when I met him, I was like, oh, like Kenny goes, well, that's my dad. I was like, yeah, all right, well, he's joking with me.
Yeah,
right?
whatever.
Yeah, and then he's like, no, really, he's dad.
That's amazing.
I was like, and he works in IT? Like, yeah. I was like, that is awesome. Mm-hmm. He's just he lives in Cali and super chill guy. And turns out he's a fan of my YouTube channel, owns an IT company. And,
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's just fun. We hang out anytime. There's we all have like these meetups and these friend circles.
Yeah.
Man, last time we were there, to get into the friend circle, we had a table. We had it eventually ended up almost 30 people, but it started out with like 15.
Yeah.
And we'd only expand it if you did a tabletop exercise. So for people, because this is a cybersecurity conference, so you had to do a tabletop exercise. But a tabletop exercise was 2 people had to stand up on a table and you'd hold each other and like kind of do a trust thing. So you had to stand on one of the tables out in the lobby. They let us do it for way longer than I thought we could get away with.
That's great.
Yeah, and then we could expand it by a couple more tables. You had to do a table exercise. Some people would just, if it was solo, you just do a squat on a table.
Right.
IT conferences, we make them fun. That's
Eric sends over $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Eric. Mac Telecom, UAP hearings yesterday in the U.S. And Cody says, Eric, we talking about access points or aliens?
Yeah, both.
And then not tech support tries to send $1.03, but doesn't do it via super chat, simply via chat. Caught my attention and I laughed. So I wanted to give a shout out to that. Eric sends over $2. Thank you so much, Eric. Tom, great convo on Art of Net. Net Engineering podcast.
Yeah, I was on that podcast.
Yeah,
had a fun time there. I want to be on again because it was so much. We had more to talk about because they started going into other subjects and then we cut it off. He's like, hold on. He started asking about self-hosted and then it was the end.
Yeah.
And he's like, hold on, we can't go down this rabbit hole right now. But definitely a great time. The people at the Art of It Network Engineering. If it's a podcast, if you haven't heard it, I'm not saying this because I was on it. I was a fan of it for a while. Mm-hmm. They do a lot of good interviews with network engineers. It's a little bit more on the enterprise than HomeLab side, but I think a lot of you work or are considering working in the enterprise. It's a great education for. The one about VXLAN was actually really interesting because it wasn't about the technical ins and outs of VXLAN as much as it was about the interoperability problems of VXLAN.
Yeah.
You think something's a standard until you bought a variety of switches and you're trying to get your VXLAN set up and what challenges you may run into with that.
Yeah.
So, but great discussion on there for things. And I picked up a lot. They have a lot of industry experts on there. Yeah. And then they chose me. I don't know.
It surprises me when companies choose me too.
Yeah. I feel happy to be here.
I'm one of the biggest imposter syndrome people. I know I started a YouTube channel. I know I worked in IT for basically 20 years now, and whatnot. But it's like, really, you care about what I think? I don't even care about what I think. So. And TerraPup sends over $5 to let us know we are still live. We're watching you adjust the bandwidth in real time. Thank you very much. Although the irony of that is we couldn't see the chat during that process. So we finally got it loaded back up.
We thought we were offline.
Yeah. The YouTube preview completely froze, and then I tried reloading the tab and it loaded to a gray screen, and then nothing came back. And then I'm like, is it down? So I pinged and I went, okay, it's pinging. It's not the greatest ping, but it pinged repeatedly. We're all good now. So
We are good. Life's good. So
Yeah.
my wife is traveling, and she messaged me. She's in Arizona right now. I'm from Detroit, for anyone that doesn't know. So I travel this way. She's on the other side of the country, and she's like, hey, we just got settled in. We're going to have some Mexican. And I sent her a picture because I was eating Mexican.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I was sending a picture of like, hey, I'm having Mexican too.
Yeah.
So we're in different parts of the country, but yeah. She's in a different time. She's like closer to your time.
Arizona's Pacific. This time of the year they are Pacific, although Arizona doesn't recognize daylight savings. And so on October 29th or something like that this year, they actually go back to mountain time.
Okay.
They match mountain time because the rest of the U.S. recognizes daylight savings. So they flip back and forth between Pacific and mountain, depending on the season.
So my friend's tech company in Indiana is on the border. Indiana is the same thing. First, they don't do daylight savings. Second, he is 1 mile from the time zones where his IT company is.
Yeah.
So times get really complicated.
Yes.
Because literally you only have to drive a few miles.
Yeah.
And you're in a different time zone.
Yeah.
That's a weird problem.
Yeah. Yeah. My parents are in far eastern Oregon, and when you cross too far into Idaho, there's a time break there as well. So if they're talking to friends and whatnot, it's like, oh, are you Idaho time or are you our time?
Yeah.
Like which one do you fall in? So. Yeah.
See, we got to stop this. We just got to have one time.
Yeah.
UTC.
Yeah, we well, China actually does that.
Do they?
Yeah, China has a universal time for the entire country, and what's funny is it's almost as wide as the United States, and so there's 4 time zones in China, but they set all of their clocks to one time. The entire country of China. So you could have in the eastern area of China, you could have sunrise at like 3 a.m. During some seasons, or sunset at 4 in the east or in the west, because they kind of centralize on like, where's Beijing at? Okay, you're all going to follow Beijing time. So Zeus sends over $5, was setting up a new 3D printer and it refused to connect to Wi-Fi. Turns out the 1,000-foot spool of Cat6a in front of the printer stops Wi-Fi signals.
Oh. Yes, absolutely.
You've created a very crude electromagnet.
Yeah. Well, it's also a good Faraday cage if you right. The way the wrap goes on.
Yeah, stranded pairs. Yeah.
It's stranded pairs, and they do a crisscross inside them because it's a Cat6 box. Mm-hmm. If it's on a spool, it's going to be more of a magnet because it's
more regular.
Either way, you've created a way to block it.
Yeah. That's funny. I have had weird random things on like the edges of Wi-Fi zones block Wi-Fi before. You take the side off of a PC case and suddenly your Wi-Fi drops on something. It's like, oh, put that back on. Okay.
Because of the way the attenuation works. Somewhere my wife's like, where are you going with the Lazy Susan? I'm like, I'm taking it to work because my studio was at the office at the time.
Yeah.
And I took the little Lazy Susan and I was showing how if you spin a laptop, the Wi-Fi changes constantly. All you're doing is turning it. And it's because it goes, if you don't know, your Wi-Fi antenna's around the edge of
usually around the screen.
Around the screen.
Yeah.
But as you turn it, you're just watching. You're not moving. You're just turning a little. And this is one of the reasons I don't do a bunch of Wi-Fi speed tests because I can do speed tests, do a 180, and it's do a speed test. I've not moved. I'm physically the same proximity.
Yeah.
So how am I supposed to tune for your Wi-Fi? Because if your desk is in a different angle, you will have different speeds of Wi-Fi.
We had we managed IT for a school in the area, and we had let's call them a frequent flyer. I think we're all on the same page there. We had a frequent flyer, and also an Apple fanatic, and everything had to be Apple, and like it was God's chosen platform.
Yes.
And we stood in their classroom, and they explained, well, when I hold the laptop here, I can connect via AirPlay to the Apple TV. But if I stand here, I can't. And I went, yeah, don't stand there.
Right.
Well, how can you fix that? I went,
by not standing there.
I went, look, I'm not going to explain attenuation. I'm not going to do anything of that. But you're old enough to understand this reference. Have you ever listened to AM radio? And they went, of course. And I went, it's the same thing. If you turn on your car, you'll hear the hum of your car fan through the AM radio. You can do nothing at all, and you'll get... And because the attenuation of AM radio is so dynamic that you can physically hear it. You can hear it change the sound in real time. I went, Wi-Fi is not that dissimilar. It's just a wave going through space, and depending on the way it bounces in some rooms and circumstances and positions and angles and everything else, it's going to bounce different ways. And so if you're telling me your laptop works here and it doesn't work here, don't stand here.
Yep.
Go 2 feet to your right.
Well, and there's also the challenge reflection. So the same day we were doing all this testing, because it was a demo for all the employees as well. We were talking about Wi-Fi and challenges with it. So we had the laptop on Lazy Susan. We had the Wi-Fi in the middle of the table. We put them about 4 feet apart on this table. Mm-hmm. I would show them by standing at the other end of the table, so you're not in the direct line between, because they both are on the table.
Right.
If you stand at either end of the table, you will also affect the results because of the reflected Wi-Fi that would come off.
Yeah, absorbed and reflected. Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's not that hard to tune. Mostly what you focus on for business. The home labbers are annoying about it because what they're almost always doing is trying to do the fastest speed.
Yeah.
What businesses want is just connectivity. So I'm doing the opposite, you think, when I tune someone's Wi-Fi for a business, because I'm going narrower channels, and I will turn power down. Yep.
So access points don't bleed into areas that they're not supposed to be covering.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so they'll kick off. You'll set some minimum RSSIs because I don't want to be on this one. They want to be on this one over here.
Yep.
You don't want them sticky to the one that's far away.
You want those handoffs to be very clean. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. We did all of this, and the way we set up the Wi-Fi was right. And it wasn't even that they were dropping off of the access point that they were assigned. It's that the throughput for the AirPlay wasn't enough anymore to sustain the handshake, because that's all an encrypted connection. It's like, no, you're still sending packets. It's just not enough for AirPlay to go, okay, yes, you can still send them to me. Spectrum analysis, we actually did bring out a spectrum analyzer. We had a 2.4 and a 5 gigahertz spectrum analyzer. We scanned for interference in the area. We scanned for attenuation. We did a whole bunch of things. And it was just the way the Wi-Fi was reflecting in the room. No matter, we even tried moving the access point like multiple times. And for whatever reason, that spot in their room kind of didn't work. Like, it was just, I don't know if it was the shape of the room or what. The height of the ceiling, the moon in retrograde, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot that just interferes with it. You can overdo the planning and try to find every little nook and cranny, but you really just got to go where the people are, do some generalize where the access points are, and call it great.
Yep.
There's just like, don't stand over there type of things. Sometimes you tell them, I mean, I can put more Wi-Fi in.
Right.
If your budget allows it, I'll pull more cable and I'll put more Wi-Fi in. But let's just be practical at this point.
I have to tell this. This same frequent flyer, okay? They found out we were pulling new cables for new drops within this building. We told them we're pulling drops for the building, and they got really concerned that we were going to pull all of the drops. So does that mean all of our things have to be Wi-Fi now?
Oh. The use of the English language can be hard.
Yes, it can be. And like, the way we speak to each other, and you've all heard this before, like, one of my favorite phrases is words have meaning. Yeah. And in this case, they didn't know the meaning of this phrase. We're going to pull drops. We're going to pull cables. They thought that meant remove cables, not lay new cables.
Right.
And you can't fault them for that leap in logic, because they don't live in this industry. But we got a good laugh out of that one. This was the same person.
The frequent flyer thing has two meanings to me, though.
Hey, Bearded IT Dad is here too.
What's that?
Bearded IT Dad is here too.
Oh, awesome.
Hello, sir.
Hey. The frequent flyers also, my daughter, she doesn't currently, she's in medical, but she was working as an EMT. And the EMTs call them frequent flyers too, because they frequently will find themselves on the ambulance. And it's just amazing that the same people are there a lot.
I know a couple EMTs. That's where I'm taking the reference from.
Yeah. That's definitely what they call them, the frequent flyers.
Yep.
They know their address. Like, oh, it's him again. What did you do this time?
3842 Swan Street. I got this one.
Yeah.
It's just Carol. Is that like laying pipe? I think that's a different reference.
Whether you're a plumber or not, that's a phrase that is used.
That's right. You need to speak German, LOL. Ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen.
I do not speak the German.
Yeah. I took just enough that I can mostly read German. And I've had to read enough like German GitHub repositories and crap like that through the years where it's like, okay, I can understand like written German text. However, if you speak it to me, you have to speak at a second grader's level. Like very slow, very deliberate. Otherwise I will not get it. So
I use Google Translate. I'm not bilingual.
Yeah,
I barely do English right.
Yeah, I can't program. I can't code. I don't speak that language. And like I said, I know enough German so I can wo bist die Badezimmer? Where's the bathroom? You know, like but
where's the beer? I'm sure that was
wo bist die Bier? Yeah. Beer is just beer. So I can literally go beer and they'd point me in the right direction. Like that's easy.
That's an important thing to know.
Right, exactly. That's way more important than the bathroom. I have not. I've been hoping to go a couple of times. Gamescom is always in Germany, and it's been an event that I've always wanted to attend. NVIDIA hosts a gaming event over in Germany every year. Again, it's one that's just never kind of aligned with my schedule. But I'm hoping to get there eventually.
I'm trying to decide because I don't have any reason to go, but I want to go there. Just a few European places. I want to go to the Netherlands too. I have a friend there. He comes here all the time, and I want to go there and hang out with him.
Yeah.
Haven't been there. My usual is to try and find a vendor to pay for it. So I got to find an event.
Exactly. You got to find an event and a reason to be there.
I will leverage my privilege to not have to pay for it.
Absolutely.
Let them pay for it, and then I tack on a couple more days.
There's been twice this year that a company has reached out and said, "Hey, are you going to be at this event?" I went, "I am now, depending on what you're paying me." Yeah.
I think Nextcloud holds their event in Germany.
Yeah,
they have invited me. I declined because it wasn't a fit for what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It also feels weird. I don't really use Nextcloud. I like it, but I don't really use it, so it felt like odd. But
yeah. I've used Nextcloud before.
Yeah, I've used it on and off, and it's not a daily driver type of tool for me.
Yeah,
I go through the setup, and I'm like, yep, this still works, but then it updates and explodes, and I'm like, yep, it still explodes on update. Like I keep one running in the background with no real important data in there, and every time there's an update, I update, and I go see if the data's still there. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's not. That's how I know. That's what I know about it.
Yeah.
And it's always some weird challenge to fix things in it. I think it's gotten better over the years, but in the past it was just updates explode.
Yeah.
Which even at one of our talks today, I like it because he was honest. The guy from Rocky Linux.
Yeah. And Neil, right?
Neil.
Yeah.
So one of his points was, and this is a challenge, like let's get OpenStack. But then I was like at the end, because he said, it's gotten much better with updates, but he didn't elaborate. So my first question, tell me the truth about updates on OpenStack. He goes, it still blows up sometimes. I was like, all right, there we go.
Yes.
Because everyone wants me to, or I get a lot of requests, I should say, Tom, why aren't you covering OpenStack? I'm like, the problem with that, or even my most recent video on why I'm not using Kubernetes, it's not that I can't build an instruction set, or there's not a tutorial or a beautiful one-line bash script that will build out your Kubernetes cluster, that will set up your OpenStack.
Yeah.
That's not where the problem ever is.
Yeah.
It is updates. And unfortunately, and having one foot in the cybersecurity world, I get a lot of people like, oh man, we're afraid we're going to get hacked. Well, good, you've contacted me, so let's figure out a plan. Oh, we built a Kubernetes cluster we haven't updated in 5 years. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
You're definitely going to get attacked.
Yeah, you have a real problem.
Yeah, you've probably already been attacked.
And I've seen OpenStack ones the same way, because maybe they have a way to snapshot, they got some LVM snapshots, whatever they got on the back end to create instance so they can roll back to, and the updates don't go well, so they keep going back to it. And I'm like, that's the problem. These updates break. I look at things from a more simplistic standpoint because I have to support them.
Yeah.
So it is coming from my heart when I say, like, just use a standard Docker. Like, I get, and if you want to learn Kubernetes because you use a career path, go for it.
Yeah.
But it would say, I just want to run Jellyfin and 2 services. I'm going to tell you, the complexity is the more likely to be the problem of why you're down than anything else.
Yeah.
Like, just don't do the complex stuff unless it's an absolute need.
Right.
Then don't get me wrong, we don't get the hyperscalers. We don't have Google without Kubernetes.
Right.
But you're not running Google in your basement.
This is also true.
Yes.
Correct. Nicholas sends over a $10 super chat. Thank you very much, Nicholas. You know what I like? 2 of my favorite tech tubers talking about Wi-Fi attenuation while obviously more than tipsy.
Yeah. Exhaustion is mostly what you're seeing right now.
That's exactly right. I'm
only 3/4 away, but I am. We are both, and he's in the wrong time zone, so he's not at the right sleep cycle.
Right. Yeah. No. So I flew in Tuesday morning. My flight from Portland left at 5:30 in the morning, which means I had to be at the airport or be at the parking lot of the airport at 3:30 in the morning, which means I had to leave my house at 2:30 in the morning because I'm an hour away. Now, what happened that night is I was planning on going to bed at 8. I didn't make it to bed until 10. I fell asleep 10:30, and my son woke up at 11. And so I got up, tended to him, tried to go back to bed, and I'm like, I'm not going back to sleep. So I had 30 minutes sleep to drive an hour to the airport and then got on the plane. I slept for about an hour and a half on the first flight. By the way, there's no direct from Portland to Wilmington, North Carolina. So I had to go to DFW, which is like my least favorite American airport. And there was only an hour and 10 minutes there, so I also had to run through, also on an empty stomach, because it's now noon for me, and it's like I'm hungry, and oh, by the way, DFW has jack for food. They have a lot of fast food if you want McDonald's or Burger King or whatever else, but they have nothing of any substance. You can't get like an actual burger or a steak or anything like that. So I got some chicken nuggets because that was the best thing there.
And as someone I've seen pointed out, we are currently in Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
So many of you are used to Jeff being in his time zone.
Yeah.
3 hours. So
it's 10 o'clock right now.
It's 10 after 10 o'clock. Right?
But anyway, so yeah, I got like maybe another 90 minutes of sleep on the plane, but then I landed and it's like, okay, I need to be awake the rest of the day. And I also had to finish slides for my talk last night because, look, I love 45 Drives, and this is not a dig on them, but they scheduled me to go first today at 10:30 local time, which is 7:30 in the morning my time. I would not schedule anything for 7:30 in the morning my time. And not only that, but my slides weren't done, and so I was up till like 1 in the morning local time. I got 5 hours of sleep last night.
Yeah. So while
in my defense,
we do have a goal of becoming tipsy. It's mostly fatigue you're seeing. There we go. I'm 1 beer and done. He's going to do 2.
I'm going to do 2.
He's a professional.
That's right.
I'm an amateur. I am generally a 1 beer person.
Yeah. We did have dinner just before this, and they had free cocktails, and I did have
I had an old fashioned. Yeah.
I had a Scotch and ginger. Yeah. That's my go-to at open bars.
Yeah, you're not sure how good it's going to be. Go for the Scotch and ginger. Try to screw up.
Exactly. Yeah.
The old fashioned was good.
Yeah. What's funny is she was coming around and she handed everyone else the drink. She goes, old fashioned? And everyone looks at me and I went, I didn't order that, but that sounds delicious right now. And then it's like, oh, it's Tom's. Okay, cool.
Tom wanted the old fashioned.
Of course he did.
The only thing I'm missing is I do love a whiskey chaser before there, because the whiskey like clears your palate for you to go to bed. And I don't mind falling asleep with the whiskey taste in my mouth. That's
It's just normal, right?
That's any evening. I do generally before I go to bed, shot of whiskey. That's just not anything else. I don't drink a beer every night or anything. I don't even drink a beer every day.
Yeah.
But generally at night, one small thing of it, not like a small shot glass. Not even a double pour.
Yeah.
Just the simple things.
Yep. Good times.
Good times. I keep an emergency whiskey in my camper because when you go camping, just in case I forget it, I always have my emergency bottle in there.
I do too. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a small trailer. There's I think 3 bottles in there, just in case. Yeah.
So, my neighbors, they have this party they do for 4th of July. And usually we're traveling, but we weren't, so we had the party there, and she invites her. We got a little bit of property, not a lot, about an acre. Neighbors have about 2 acres. Yeah. But her brother's got a restored GM RV. I don't know if you ever remember when GM made RVs.
Oh yeah.
He restored it, and then he's extra, so he does like a lot of detail work.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a picture of it. Maybe I'll send it to you sometime. But
is it like an 82 pinstripe camper van?
Yeah, but what he did, the woodwork inside.
Oh yes,
is amazing, and the bar is. Because these were made in the 80s, but it's got that 70s vibe.
Yeah.
The 70s vibe with the bar, with the glass holders, and all the whiskey.
The gold vein glass and the leather wrapped bar.
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. He redid all of it. He's got the lights behind it. He redid it and cut new glass. It's got lighting under it. He put in there. He did a great job of restoring this.
Yeah.
Because it's not its former glory. It's above.
Nice.
And it's been a project for him, but it was cool when I get inside. He's like, "Oh, glass whiskey." I'm like, "Oh, yes."
Yes.
It's just something about having it poured from that little bar.
Yeah. So the reason I got so into cocktails when I was younger is at age 21, my wife and I were trying to save up for a house, and we ended up buying a small mobile home, a 14 by 54 mobile home. We paid, I think, $6,500 cash for it, and then the space rent was $250 a month. And then you just pay utilities and you live for $250 a month. It's like, heck yes. Like that was an amazing deal to, own your home, have air conditioning, good internet, everything else that you need in 2007. This mobile home was from 1969. And it had this really nice living room and these false rafters in the dining room and kitchen area. And then it had a little formal reading room that also had a glass vein mirror set up with a full wet bar with a leather wrapped bar and solid wood top. And it was in pristine condition when we got it.
That's cool.
And so I'm like, well, obviously, if I have a bar here, I need to learn how to make cocktails. And that was already on my list of things to do. But I'm like, I'm going to start learning how to do this. And so I set up a 20 bottle bar and learned how to bartend. And
that's great.
And that kind of ignited my love even more, simply because I had the space to do it.
If you watch a couple random RV videos, you'll learn on YouTube. Your suggestions will be filled with RV suggestion videos.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who review the old ones, and there's this guy, and he does the coolest thing. It's a shtick he's put on. It's not actually what his channel does. He does all kinds of just camping videos. Yeah. But he had this idea that went too well, and it's his most viewed video. Yeah. He stepped back in time it's a 1975. Well, I don't know what you call them. It's got the van front end type of mobile home. Yeah. I forget what class it is. Anyways, Class C, I think. Yeah. He gets in it. And this thing is absolutely as it was in the 70s. Uh-huh. But he's dressed in the 70s. He's got the big collar on.
Oh, yeah.
And he's doing the whole shtick. And he's like, I like what I have in my RV. And I got to pour me a Harvey Wallbanger. He's doing the drinks from the era. Everything is in theme. And he's got the glass cigarette trays that are gold. And he's ashing his. I'm like, and then he's got old newspaper. But you don't realize it's a shtick until you kind of figure it out. You think he's a little dress eccentric. But then you're like, oh, he's reviewing it from the era. And it becomes really funny.
Yeah.
But when as soon as he said Harvey Wallbangers, I'm like, that was my dad's drink. So, yeah. I was like, you don't, people are like, what's a Harvey Wallbanger? How old are you, Tom? Because you do cocktails.
I do.
You're familiar with it. Which, by the way, cocktail YouTube, also rabbit hole.
So, yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah.
I love the history of them and things like that. We've definitely there's I don't remember the names of the channels, but we watched one, and then next thing I'm watching an hour's worth of shorts.
There's Binging with Babish. That's a great one.
He's all the food channel too. Yes.
Yeah, there's The Educated Barfly.
I watched that one.
There's Greg from How to Drink.
I think I watched some of his.
Yeah, he usually wears a plaid shirt.
Okay.
Yeah,
and his videos are short, like a few minutes.
Yeah.
Really good.
Actually, his more recent stuff is quite a bit longer, 10, 12 minutes.
Okay.
But I love Greg. Greg is probably my favorite cocktail channel and has been since its inception. I literally got recommended his first video 2 days after he posted it. And the reason I got recommended it was he made an old fashioned. And so he started his channel because he used to do a lot of commercial work. He literally making TV commercials. And
that explains his production quality.
Oh yes, and
that kind of we definitely talked about. His production quality is
yes. And so he enlisted a group of his friends to rent a small storage unit, and let's dress it up and let's do an 80s inspired cocktail review. Of hey, I'm just a guy and I'm drinking a cocktail, and he literally starts the video and goes, today we're going to make an old fashioned, and then he goes through the whole history of the old fashioned and why it is the way that it is and whatnot, and I'm like, I am fully on board for anything that you do from here on out, and his channel has been amazing since then. That he started his YouTube channel, I think 3 months after I did. So I was deep into YouTube and who do I watch and whatnot, and he popped up and I'm like, dude, you're amazing. And now he's 1.5 million subscribers, and I'm like, good for you, good for Greg.
So you guys can look this up too. What I'm showing Jeff is if you look up Slaw Art, SLAW, kind of like coleslaw.
Yeah.
So this is Slaw. That's the guy's name.
Okay.
Which I think is funny because this is one of the first ones that came up as one of his Star Trek. He's an artist.
Yeah.
And look at the Star Trek one, because why not?
Yeah.
But he is exactly in that theme of the tiki bar era.
Yes.
And I've been to parties. It's actually kind of where I met my wife, current wife. But his tiki bar parties and stuff like that, and there's all the cool cocktails. He's in that era, but everything around you when you go to his event is real. It is all stuff he's collected. It's from that era, and all of his art is from that era. But I like the way he has, it just makes me think of it because he has all this cool bar set up with all the classic things. I just like that style.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a bunch of his art at my house too.
Yeah.
But it is there's something about that whole.
He's
era
got a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah, but he embraces that cocktail era of the '60s.
Yes,
and it's so cool when he would do parties and stuff because it's all themed that way.
Yeah,
and it's it gets you in that zone, and it's kind of it just popped in my head. It's kind of a neat thing. Although the funniest thing is he had a loft. I don't know. I kind of lost track of him, and I know that loft is gone because the whole building's gone. It's one of the buildings in Detroit. There's signatures on it. And people will say, can I sign it? And he goes, you tap a sign. And it says, yes, you can sign my bar so long as you have done so as all others have. Buck naked. He didn't care if it was a party. He goes, there's only one way to sign his bar. Guy, girl, whoever. There's one way you may sign it.
That's right.
Feel free.
I honestly, if he makes me a cocktail, I will strip down and sign that bar.
It just made me think about it because it's the whole classic cocktails he would make and everything else. Just kind of... It's a random era of my life. I don't know why it's in my head.
Bearded IT Dad sends over $10. Thank you so much, sir.
Bearded IT Dad has been to Detroit. It was funny because a picture of him came up because I was showing someone some of the Art Deco buildings. I took him on a tour of the downtown area and things like that. As I'm always, people reach out to me, and if you ever come to Detroit, ping me. I live 15 minutes, and I've picked up random people from the airport. Yeah, because that's the thing, and. I don't mind.
He'll pick up any transient. It's great.
Random people. I see Detroit. Ping me. I had someone from Sweden come to my office.
Don't let him pick you up on a motorcycle.
No, probably not. Don't do that.
That's a bad idea.
Bad idea. I will take you off-roading if I pick you up. It'll be fun. Yeah. for someone, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Yeah.
Well, now it's an adventure.
Now it's an adventure. It's always an adventure.
That's right.
Yeah, my friends, I have some friends that want to move here, so they spent a week, and I took them, they told me I'm a good Detroit tour guide because I took them through the Michigan tour guide because I took them through the rural, beautiful areas of Michigan where they want to live, which is only about 40 minutes from my house. I took them to the downtown Detroit area, and they were like, okay. And then I said, do you guys want to do a hoodlum event? And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, there's about 100 of us that are going to go ride mini bikes in the city. And he's like, I don't have any bikes. You don't have to. You can just participate by watching and ride with us. And he went, and he's like, this is the craziest thing I've participated in. I was like, yeah. He goes, you guys just like ignored traffic laws and just drove everywhere and jumping sidewalks. I'm like, yeah, this is a thing that happens every Monday in the city. He's like, this is weird.
That's crazy.
But amazing.
What's really funny is I was telling you yesterday that I actually know a friend who is in the ruckus community. And very similar thing. They will get on their Honda Ruckuses, which are the 50cc, legal with anything. Cops want you to wear a helmet, but that's about all to say that they have. You can do up to 35 miles an hour on them. They don't require plates or insurance or anything else. And so a buddy of mine will ride his Honda Ruckus, and they'll just go bombing down some backcountry roads. And we don't ride through downtown Detroit, mind you.
No, if anyone wants to look up the video, if you type in Detroit Mini Monday, September 1st, 2025, that's the title of the video.
Okay.
And you will find the video. So you can find this, Detroit Mini Monday, and you will see just the craziness that goes on in downtown Detroit. It's a thing. Yeah, that's them riding in front of just everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I post them. If you follow me on this one's on my personal YouTube page. It's not on my YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, I post those things. That's my other little weird hobby I have, which I probably shouldn't. We try to limit how much I post about breaking laws.
Yeah.
Because don't film your crimes, folks.
Yes, this is excellent advice.
Excellent advice.
Yeah. Nope wants to know, did craft computing and the full nerd Adam Patrick Murray kill 21st Amendment brewing? I will tell you, I was at 21st Amendment Brewing. When was the show I did with Adam Patrick Murray? That was...
Did you guys close the place?
Basically, yes.
Oh.
Hold on. We were there on September 19th, or August 19th. I did a show with Adam Patrick Murray. Before the show, we went over to 21st Amendment Brewing and we got a couple of six-packs. 21st Amendment Brewing, literally 2 weeks later on September 7th, said we're closing our doors forever.
You broke them.
We broke them. I don't want to take credit for that.
No.
They were an amazing brewery.
It's coincidental. That's sad.
Yeah. They were never the best brewery, but they were always solid, and those are the ones I love.
Yeah, this will be consistent.
Yeah, everything was consistently good there. I've had lunch at that brewery in downtown San Francisco multiple times over the years, and they've always had excellent food and really good beer and great vibes and really good environment. I was really bummed to see them close.
There's an appreciation I have for people who do something for the love of the craft, for not infinite line must go up into the right all the time.
Yeah.
And I had a great conversation with a startup. I was at a tech event. I was in Nashville, and I just met the guy, but we became friends right away, so we just talked about business. And I learned he owned a brewery, and he ran it for years and did really well. But I said, well, what happened to it? And he says, line must go up. We're joking, but he said, everyone's like, you should get into distribution. He goes, but I kind of like just running this place. It's a restaurant, it's a brewery, we make your own beer. You got to come here to have it.
You can get it here, right?
And that's it.
Yeah.
So then he listened to too many people saying, you got to distribute it. So the next thing you know, I think he got up to 6 locations before he managed to go bankrupt.
Yeah.
And he says, chasing distribution was so much more work. He hated life. Everything was bad. And he goes, that's why I'm back in tech. He sold his Connexus company to start the brewery. It was going to be his retirement. But then when he chased it to try and turn it into something big.
Yeah. And then fell flat on his face.
Yeah. And he says, this is too hard. It's like you got to get these humps and hustle the scale to try and get to this hyper scale. But then you're just a bureaucrat running a business.
Right.
But he goes, I didn't have that love of the restaurant. Like where I knew that Jeff came in on Tuesdays Fridays, and I just set his beer here. You don't have to ask.
Those are my favorite bars
Those are the
and
places
tap
I love.
houses in my area. When I've got multiples of those. I talk about Sandy Ann Brewing all the time, which is a local favorite spot in Salem. They're a little brewery. They do can and bottle, and they distribute like very regionally.
Mm-hmm.
Like within the Willamette Valley, you can find some Sandy Ann beers, but it's very rare to find in stores even. But they also produce some of the most solid, regular, good brews. They have a fantastic brew pub in Salem that I visit at least 2-3 times a month. And you walk in the door and they say, "Hey, Jeff," and they know me. They know most of my family.
Yeah, we have some of those cool dive bars around Detroit.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's a small dive bar, hasn't been remodeled in 60, 70 years, maybe ever.
Yeah.
And you can go in there and just like, they see you and they're like, they'll set your beer on. They'll start pouring it for
Right.
you when you sit down. Like, I like that. You'll see people walk
I
in
walk
like
into
that.
Sandy Am and they pour me their 1859 Maibach because that's my favorite beer that's from there.
I have a great appreciation for people who just we're talking about breweries, but it can be a restaurant, it can be whatever it is, but
Yeah.
people who are passionate about the craft.
Yeah.
And me and that guy got a great discussion about it. He says if he exits from his tech company he's building up now, though, he
Yeah.
would go back and open a restaurant again.
Yeah.
But that's it. And I told him, if I sell out, I will start a new YouTube channel, because we were talking about the whole YouTube idea. I said, you let me know when you're ready, and maybe I'll be ready.
Yeah.
We're going to call it BrewTube, and we're going to go build a restaurant, restaurant/brewery together.
You son of a bitch. I'm really upset I did not come up with that name
I was
myself.
like, yeah. So I got to register it.
I'm really mad at you
Someone
right now.
I know. Isn't that great, though? It was like, I'm spilling the beans on idea. Someone's going to steal the idea. But that's
That
all right.
will be registered before the end of the show.
It will be registered for the end of the
Yeah.
show. Or we're just like, BrewTube sounds like a great idea. We're like, yeah.
Retzel, Vince, one of you is going to jump on that.
Mm-hmm.
I know my audience quite well.
I'll be realistic. I'm going to be honest with myself that I'm probably never going to actually do it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's a pipe dream, but it can be yours. Because my actual retirement plan, for those of you who don't know, and feel free to Google this because we can throw in a little humor in here that is edgy. If you've ever been to Detroit and you've gone up I-75, which is the main freeway through
main
Detroit.
drag.
Yeah, it actually goes all the way down to Florida. It's a big freeway.
Yeah.
Exit 69 is funny.
Yeah.
You know what's funnier? It's Big Beaver Road. And do you know what's funnier is what Tom wants to do is when he retires, he's going to buy a liquor store and he's going to put it on Big Beaver Road. Because what would you call this store?
Yeah.
Big Beaver Liquors.
Yeah.
Exit 69.
That's right.
I don't care if I did a poor job of anything else. The branding's on point.
That's amazing.
Why there's not a store on Big Beaver Road called Big Beaver Liquors, I don't know. I've looked. I don't know why it doesn't exist. I can't be the first person, but it is a very wealthy area, oddly, and I have a feeling they would not approve Big Beaver Liquors.
So what's really funny about the state of Oregon is we have had so much theft of DOT road signs.
We don't have a mile marker 420 anymore.
We don't have a mile marker 420.
Yep.
It's 419.9.
Yep.
And we don't have a mile marker 69. We have 68.9.
Yep. And
Which is even funnier if you think about it.
yeah,
Because I saw the sign of the state acknowledging that this is a problem.
yes. There are people. I had someone that stole the big one.
I've really thought about going and stealing that sign just for myself.
There are definitely people that sold signs. I can't believe how they acquired them, but they are the Exit 69 like freeway sign.
Yeah.
The big one.
Like
And
the
I'm
big green one. Yeah.
I'm like, it's like part of your garage. The back wall of the garage is the sign. You're like, we got it off. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. I don't know. There's a story there. Yeah, but it's the thing. If you look it up and just Google it, guys, you can see that. I'm not making it up. It's just someone had a sense of humor a long time ago.
Exit 69 off I-75, Big Beaver Road.
Big Beaver Road. It's famous.
Yep. And 6 years from now, you can visit Big Beaver Liquors.
Yes. I'll retire and I'll open Big Beaver Liquors.
That's right. I will drive there so I can take that road myself.
Yeah. Well, there's already, so I'm in Boston. And
Exit 69 near the Glory Hole.
Well, it is near, feel free to look this up, Michigan Golden Butthole. And probably incognito. So there is, this is the thing. If you want to type it in, you'll hysterical when you see what it actually is.
Yeah.
It made the mayor so angry because he thought the internet would name something and name it nicely. They did not. This is this became like an internet phenomenon for a little while because there's this. I don't know if it's the same architect or not. Downtown Detroit, they got this structure called the Gateway. If you look at it, you go, hey, look, that's from Stargate. It looks just like the Stargate. It's got the little things on it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's the Stargate Gateway. It's got the little thing at the top that sets
the chevrons are locking.
Yeah, you would see it and you would say that immediately. And it's an art. So one of the mayors in the wealthy areas that is north of Detroit decided he needed one and spent way too much money on it. And it's gold. Yeah. And of course he said, what are we going to call this thing? Because Detroit has their gateway sign, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And the internet named it, and it was the Golden Butthole. And then the radio stations picked it up. And then my friend's podcast called IT and the D, which is huge in Detroit, picked it up, and everyone repeated it. The mayor was like, it is not. He was just not happy about this entire situation. You cannot call it this, because he spent way too much money on this stupid golden thing that's at the entrance of the city. So the mayor was just like, they turned it into the news, had to ask him, what do you think of the internet calling it this? You should not call it. That's not what we're trying to call it.
That's amazing.
And the more the mayor hated it,
the more you... Yeah, exactly.
So, Detroit's a fun place sometimes.
Yeah.
And
it's right there by Exit 69 as well. Because it is.
Yeah, of course it is. That's amazing.
Yeah. Come to Detroit. I'll give you a tour. We'll pass that exit. We'll go.
I've been looking for an excuse to visit Detroit because I wanted to visit you. Yeah. I think that's all the excuse I need. I'm going to go see the Michigan Golden Butthole.
Yeah, you can go see that.
Off Exit 69.
Yeah, it's right by there. Well, I did see, it crashed again. So it's not YouTube crashing. It's just Firefox is having a bad day.
Yeah, Firefox is having a really bad day.
No, we put in, when Dakota stayed with me, he stayed at my house, and you're welcome to as well. Yeah. We put in one of those Murphy beds. So I just have to showing people, because it was a lot of work putting in a Murphy bed.
Yeah.
And we made some grave mistakes putting the Murphy bed in, because we watched the people install it. They said, we could do this.
Yeah.
And
we're famous last words.
Yeah. 7 years later. We got it together. But what we didn't calculate, my wife's like, I want it really against the wall because it's against the window and it looks good there.
Yeah.
The problem is Murphy beds weigh a lot.
They do.
And you have these cool, crowbar things you got to pull.
You're just this side of garage door springs.
Yeah. They're really strong. So we're working the springs and everything else. But then we realized when we picked it up, we started walking. I'm like, they had a person on each side and one in the middle. And we realized there's no side because we put it against the wall. So we couldn't figure out how to get it on. So we had to very carefully, with loaded heavy springs, slide and line. It was like the most dangerous move.
Oh, God.
The thing I wasn't sure about, but it turns out I fit. I had to get inside part of the Murphy bed and close it with me in it. And
you get the last couple of screws in to hold the
I had to do that. I had to hold it in place while they did it because I'm holding it inside of the Murphy bed because there's no mattress in it yet.
How are you not dead?
Yeah. We're not sure, because if these springs let go, I would be like, hey, guys.
Right.
3 fingers, safety second.
Yeah, Murphy bed springs are just this side of garage door springs.
But once it went in, we were happy. It was in.
Yeah.
And it works great now.
Which, if you've never heard this before, this is your warning from Definitely Not a Professional. Do not mess with garage door springs. No. Call a professional.
Call a professional.
Yeah.
They will... They spin in a little. The cable whips around. It's a bad time all the way around.
Garage door springs can decapitate you in one rotation.
Yeah, there's a lot of strength in those.
Yeah, You get a steel cable and wound sprung steel that wants to let go at every moment.
There's at least some people that are our age on here that have seen Ghost Ship.
Okay.
You know the scene I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The cable cuts everybody?
Yes.
Was that the name of it? Was it Ghost Ship?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, people know that scene, people know what you're talking about.
Yep. Skull says Murphy beds are something that seem like it should be way easier than they are and stupidly expensive and hard to find.
All of those things are true.
Yes.
But I was determined. Yeah. Or my wife was. I don't know who. But we determined we wanted Murphy beds. We don't have people over that. We're more than happy to have people over.
We have a couple pull-out couches.
That's what we were doing. We said, let's give people their own bedroom with a Murphy bed. It's my wife's office is also the bedroom that we're in, but she doesn't need her office all the time. So it's just like someone, like when Dakota came, he came and stayed a few days. And he stayed in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to come to Detroit, come in. The fall's a good time to come. Don't come in the summer when it's too hot, but that we can do like
don't come in the winter when you can't come.
Well, you can come in the winter, but then you're inside the whole time. You're just it's not as cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's cold. We have anyone on stream from Detroit? Just curious.
Yeah, anyone from Detroit
or live there at some point?
Yeah. Sound off if you've been in Detroit for like an extended period of time. We'd like to hear from you. It's really fun coming to events like this where I legitimately like get to interact with people for more than like 15 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Because I get to tell them about like where I'm from and learn where they're from and things like that. And I love Oregon. I was born in Oregon. I will more than likely die in Oregon. I absolutely love it. But there are some things that people don't know about Oregon. There's like some misconceptions that people have. The number one thing you think of when you think Oregon or Seattle or Washington or Portland or whatnot, well, it rains all the time. Fun fact, it rains for 7 months of the year, but then it doesn't rain for 5 months of the year. And I mean ever, at all, 0. So we do get rain. But it's never like a downpour. Like we'll get 3/4 of an inch sometimes, but that's kind of rare. Most of our rain from like October to April is like 1/4 inch a day or less. It's just every day is a 1/4 inch. The interesting part though is from April to October, we average like 3 days of rain during that 5-month period. Oregon is naturally a high desert. In fact, and we're known for like pine trees and things like that. The native tree here is the spruce tree, which releases seeds due to wildfires, which ran rampant in the 1800s. And the fire would clear the underbrush and release the seeds from the spruce tree, which would then germinate and grow new trees. That was the natural cycle, was fire. And then people came and we said, we don't like fire anymore. And pine trees reclaimed the land, but fire still tries to reclaim the land. And as much as it rains, we do get a lot of rain, but never all at once. We also don't own umbrellas. You will never meet an Oregonian who owns an umbrella. Keeps one in their car. It doesn't rain hard.
It's like mist.
It's a mist or a light drizzle at very best. And so what do we do instead? You're walking from your car to the shopping center or walking across the parking lot. It's never enough to get you like soaked, like uncomfortably so where you're not going to be dry in 5 minutes. And so we step out of our car, and even people like me who just wear glasses, you just lower your head about like this. And so this is the Oregon walk for like 5 months. And that's all it is. It's not uncomfortable. We also don't get super cold. In the valley.
You have mild weather.
We average about 35 during the winter, and then once every 5 or 6 years, we'll get like a decent snow for like a week. But it doesn't ice, it doesn't snow. We have fairly temperate springs and summers. So
I also like exploring whenever I go places, and I found this place, and you guys can Google this too, because I'm going to show Chef here.
Yeah.
It says Floppy Disk Repair Company.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. What do you think this is? And people who Google it will figure it out pretty quick what it is. This is the Floppy Disk Repair Company in Austin, Texas.
I'm not sure if those are reflections of cars in the window okay.
The reflections.
Okay.
You can't see them. This is blacked out window.
Okay, blacked out. Okay.
Yeah, blacked out window, which is part of a theme.
Yeah.
So
please tell me this is a speakeasy.
It is.
Yes.
Yes. So Austin, Texas. I was there, and I didn't know about all the secret bars.
Yeah.
So the Floppy Disk Repair Company is one of them. On certain social platforms, they post or share with certain people the code to get in, and it changes all the time.
Yep.
So you can't just go into this bar. You have to be part of the social and find the code to be able to get in for that day.
There's a speakeasy near me, and I love going there.
Yeah, they're kind of fun. There's a lot of these in Boston. So there's a hostel. And the hostel, if you ask, they don't know where the bar is.
Yeah.
But there's a bookshelf you have to slide.
Yeah.
And it was perfect Texas, because first there's a hostel on one side where a bunch of people are staying.
Yeah.
You slide the bookshelf.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing is we slide it. Me and this guy I met there who was telling me about secret bars. We became friends immediately because we're like, let's just go all the secret. He's like, I have a list of secret bars. You want to go? I'm like, yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, cool, stranger. Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
And I hung out with the guy all day.
Please drag me down this dark alleyway and feed me something.
We want to make it weird. The guy's from Hong Kong.
Okay.
And he's he used to be a lawyer for Goldman Sachs and decided he didn't want to do that anymore. And he's a human rights activist. Really weird, intriguing guy. Well, so I went to a walking tour, and the reason I found him is because I look over and I notice he's got a screen protector, so you can't even see his phone unless it's head on. He's got you can't see an angle. I'm like, oh, he works in tech.
Yeah.
And we're BSing and talking about things. And he seemed really interested in U.S. history, but he speaks with a British accent, but he looks like someone from Hong Kong.
Yes. Yeah, I know a couple of them.
Yeah. So we start talking, and he was traveling in the United States, learning. He helps people in Hong Kong with human rights issues, but he's traveling in the United States to understand immigration and things like that. So he's touring Austin, and we ended up just hanging out and going to a couple of museums together, but he'd never been to a, what do you call that, like a clam bake / where they do the deep, what do they call that? Where you're seafood boil.
Oh, yeah, the seafood boil. Yeah.
He's like, I've never been to one. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah.
So we went to that, and we went to then we had all the bars. After we got full of food, we went to bar to bar.
Yeah.
But my favorite though, when we open the bookcase, we move it.
Yeah.
And there's this big kind of tattooed up Texas guy. We both walk in. We're the only ones there because it's probably early, like 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
We walk in and we're looking around. We're like, oh, we found the secret bar. I look around. He goes, hey, asshole! It didn't open itself. It doesn't fucking close itself. We're like, I'm in Texas.
Yes.
And so he looks at me like a deer in the headlights. I go, I think he wants to close the door.
Yeah.
And we slide the bookcase back.
Yep. There is a speakeasy in downtown Salem, where I'm from. I'm not going to tell you where it's at. I will say it does look like a legitimate business from the outside, and in fact, it serves as a legitimate business if you walk inside of it. And you walk in and they'll ask if you want to be seated at the bar or if you want a table. But what you ask is, do you have any seats available downstairs? And if the speakeasy is open, they will take you downstairs. And downstairs, they have a specialty bartender who specializes in extremely ornate cocktails, as well as beer that you probably can't legally buy in the state of Oregon. So, at least on tap.
Yeah.
In anything over 20% is outlawed in Oregon outside of a liquor store. They may have had beers on tap that qualify. They had an apricot sour one time that was 21.5. That was tasty.
Someone asked for some cybersecurity news, and I haven't had a chance to fully read the article, but I got the gist of it here. If you're looking for something funny, there's two things going on. This is cybersecurity news, so now it's the home lab news. My friends over at Huntress, and I had some inside, a little bit of knowledge of this. I was so excited that the research is not published.
Yeah.
A threat actor. Now, Huntress is a...
You were telling me, yes. So we talked about this yesterday.
Yeah. Huntress makes an endpoint detection response tool, so they're in a security sense. And a lot of times, threat actors, they want to know how to defeat software. Therefore, they sign up for trials of the software so they can poke at it, defeat it. Sometimes they go as far as to set up shell companies so they can obscure who they are and do it. Well, these people decided they were going to install it on their endpoints. And hilarity has ensued because Huntress has had inside access to this threat actor.
Huntress went, we know who you are.
Yeah. And so there's a whole write-up they did.
And they're feeding them analytics of everything that they're doing.
So there's a whole write-up. I haven't had a chance to read it, but I've seen the fanfare around it. I think John Hammond is in the video. If you don't know, John Hammond's a pretty infamous cybersecurity YouTuber with a million subscribers.
Yeah.
He also works for Huntress, and so he's part of the write-up. And there's just all the fun that goes on behind the scenes for that. So I thought that was kind of a fun piece of cybersecurity news. There's also, if you follow Frack Magazine, Proton Mail. So Frack had this really fun write-up, and it says, "You're no hacker, Mr." something like that as a title. And it was maybe about a month ago that they did the write-up.
Yeah.
So one of the Korean threat actors, like the North Korean ones, did not have good OPSEC. And the Frack people were able to infiltrate the Korean hacker and expose what they were doing. And after they figured out who they were attacking, which turned out to be South Korea, they went and, with their Proton Mail account, contacted the Ministry of defense, whoever's in charge of like, hey, did you know that you were being attacked by these North Koreans, etc. Well, Proton Mail decided to suspend Frack's account for doing it. And so the people, I like, we'll just have to read, if you can follow all the drama if you just look up Frack. They've got an entire timeline right up. Yeah. But in usual cybersecurity snark, the way they wrote it up, the wording is wonderful. What was the exact wording they used here? Basically, it was a guy at Frack said, hey, Proton Mail, would you like your moral compass adjusted? We offer the first session free. Why did you delete my Proton Mail account? And then VX Underground, if you're not familiar, follow them for cybersecurity. It has turned into a giant hate on Proton brigade. Because Proton, these are cybersecurity people who exposed the North Korean hacker and you deleted their account and you won't tell them why. So it's turned into kind of this whole drama, but it's also funny because it's all the most snarkiest cybersecurity people participating in it. So it's been, I love the cybersecurity snark and all the things that are going on behind the scenes and all of it. It just makes it kind of fun. It's a fun, if you want to look at it. Yeah. Oh, Burger King.
Yeah. Did you hear about this one?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Fragile's a French fry.
Yep.
McDonald's too.
Yeah, McDonald's, and there's a couple others because a lot of them are under RBI. Tim Hortons and Popeyes are also vulnerable to this because they use a similar backend. Burger King was hacked by an ethical hacker group. And that's probably the good news because they got into Burger King...
I believe it was client-side validation.
Yes. Yeah, it was client-side validation, and one of the web-accessible tools that Burger King uses to manage their point-of-sale systems allowed threat actors to create new accounts and bypass email verification and grant themselves root access.
Yeah, it's an absolute dumpster fire, and I couldn't get anyone to respond, which was also funny because the people who wrote the app did not want to respond. It was just like one calamity after another of just bad security practices.
Yeah.
I have fun with cybersecurity news because it's so much of cybersecurity is facepalming.
Yeah.
There's something I kind of like about that. It's just it's so much bad going on. I was mentioning it to Jeff earlier. It's like I belong to some cybersecurity signal groups, and I have some friends that are getting ready to really drop some stuff because they found a whole nother set of flaws with the company that runs fundraisers for schools, and they're trying to figure out how to report it because they can't get anyone to seem to care. But he realized once again, client-side validation. He can just swap some numbers in the URL and dump lists of students, teachers, amounts, equals. This is all not done well.
I'm not the greatest hacker in the world. I'm not the greatest coder in the world. I do have one feather in my cap, though, and that is I did discover a bug in AT&T Wireless's website one day in which I could, through a series of mouse clicks, log in as someone else's account. There was an advertisement for one of the Samsung Galaxy Notes or something like that, and if you logged into your account, you would get a handshake with AT&T, and you could log into your account. If you then backed out to the home page, clicked on the ad, clicked back, clicked on the ad again, and then went to your account page, it would log you into someone else's account, seemingly at random. And I could see their bill and their current phone numbers and everything else. And I repeated this like 4 or 5 times and contacted them. And then they told me I was not eligible for the bounty because I hadn't previously signed up. And I was really pissed. Yep. But it's like, I found this.
Yeah.
Fuckers pay up. And they never did.
Oh, man. Yeah. Have you updated Proxmox 9? I see someone asking.
I've updated one of my servers to Proxmox 9. Yes.
Okay.
I haven't done it on my primary one yet, but yeah, one of my servers is running Proxmox 9 now. That's Novella Hub.
So, there, we gave you some cybersecurity news.
Yeah.
I am going to wind this, or at least, I don't care if you go all night. I am not going to go all night.
Passwords. Have it your way.
Have it your way. Absolutely. There's no rules here.
No rules, just right.
Well, this is funny. So my friend Kelvin, who's from the Netherlands, whenever he comes here, he loves McDonald's chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Because they eat really healthy over there.
No.
So,
Yeah,
but he comes over here and wants to eat McDonald's.
Yeah.
Because he says the McDonald's here is much more Americanized.
Yeah.
So he usually orders like 200 nuggets at a time because it's for a group. We've had to hack the app a couple times, but now that we found out how bad the app is, I'm wondering, because as soon as I see hacker breaks the McDonald's app, I message Kelvin, "This you, buddy?"
Yeah.
have you found a way?
Can we zero this out?
Because he's mad. He got mad because like it only lets you order like 200 nuggets at a time, so he has to keep placing multiple orders.
Yeah.
And they're always like, "Why do you have that many nuggets?" He's like, "Because
I want 200 nuggets." God damn
it's
it.
always a thing he does. Yeah, it's really funny. We just call him the Nuggy King all the time.
Yeah.
It's just
We talked a little bit last week. I don't think I ever made it to the final point, but about AI drive-in systems.
yeah.
Have you encountered one in the wild?
I've not. I don't go through drive-thrus.
Okay.
So I actually don't eat really fast food. So yeah, I just don't. Well, my only exception is when I'm getting my son eats Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
Like he does not like fast food, except he likes Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
He's a very picky eater. He eats Kentucky Fried Chicken. He eats Pizza Hut. He eats pizza.
Yeah.
But those are like his food groups and smoothies.
Right.
So he eats the same thing from KFC. So I wouldn't even know if they replaced that girl with the AI. It's probably better. It's
right.
She doesn't always understand the order. I just go in most of the time because I get aggravated.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I go in, she'll get it right. It's not a hard order. It's just
yes. I did encounter one of Taco Bell's AIs in the wild.
Neat.
And I hated the whole experience. Now, I will say,
I doubt it makes it better.
It does not make it any better. But it took my order and it took it accurately. And it asked me the right follow-up questions, and then it completed my order, and everything just kind of worked. But my problem is my specific brand of TISM delivers information in a specific way. And I think that's what makes me a good communicator, is I know what the audience is expecting to hear, and I deliver it in an order that makes sense. And so I will say I want a number 2, large size, with a Mountain Dew Baja Blast, no tomato. And the AI interpreted that properly. As someone who's worked in fast food and taken orders and done that thing, 99% of the population does not deliver orders that way.
Right.
And
their experience is going to be very different.
Their experience is going to be very different. And there's no training for edge cases of, I would like 200 chicken nuggets, please.
Yes.
There's no training for edge cases of, I would like 18,000 cups of water. Which was obviously a troll, but one that was very effective. We did talk about last week, I don't know if you've heard, that 911 call centers are short-staffed.
Oh, yeah.
And some 911 call centers are considering adding AI recipients so they can hear what needs to happen and dispatch emergency services and things like that. And I went, that is an awful idea for a number of reasons. Number one, if you're short on 911 receptionists, pay your 911 receptionists better.
Yeah.
Number one, like that's the problem that will solve, or that's the solution that will solve everything, is pay them a good wage.
Yes.
Because they deserve it, and that's a stressful job. Number 2 is, we know as humans, we know growing up and learning things, half of communication is nonverbal, and that's included over the phone.
Yeah.
And so
it's understanding nuance and inflection.
Right. And so it's not just interpreting words and typing in text. It is, what is the emotional state? What is the communicated message? Those are all very different things. And the point that I brought up is, what happens when someone calls into a 911 call center and says, "Can I order a pepperoni pizza?" Because that's...
Will the ambulance deliver it?
Will the police officer deliver it to your potentially hostile situation that you're trying to not draw attention to?
Yeah.
Deliver you a pepperoni pizza. because that's been one that's been brought up numerous times of like 911
That
operators
context.
understanding the context. You do realize this 911. Yes, I'd like a large, please. And when can you deliver that? Oh, should I send an officer? Yeah, that'd be great. And throw in an order of breadsticks. You're
Yes.
like, that has been a thing that has happened numerous times.
Right.
And not just with pizza, but with any number of like subtext. AI doesn't know that.
It doesn't. It misses a lot of that nuance.
Right. So what happens in that situation? You've accounted for 85% of your call-ins. What about your edge cases?
Yeah. By the way, look up the AI Darwin Awards. It's a new thing that's. I don't know who started this.
Oh, I'm already on board.
Yeah, Taco Bell's already in the list. You can submit it. They have a list of submissions. You got to submit the article. I don't know who started this idea, but I love it. And they're going to do like an end of the year AI Darwin Awards thing. And I'm happy for this. This is what needs to happen. There's enough dumb happening. We need a whole Darwin Award thing.
Yeah.
Was the Darwin Awards were fun when that first came out years ago?
Oh, Darwin Awards were great.
Yeah. But
It's gotten sadder over the years.
I will. It was probably sad then, and we were young and worse people.
I was young and less empathetic.
That one. I was just young and less empathetic. I'm like, cool, they removed themselves from the gene pool. Now I'm like, how can we stop them from doing this?
Yeah.
Or am I too empathetic and I'm stopping natural selection?
Yeah.
Oh man.
My partner works in emergency health. It'll be very helpful to better understand what people say and to transcribe addresses and find closest ambulances, etc. I'm not saying AI can't be helpful. I'm saying AI can't replace the human operator.
Yeah. I don't care if an AI listens and offers helpful suggestions while the human is in control.
100%.
That makes sense. Like, hey, it's going to be able to do this, do that, help you with a situation.
If Taco Bell or Wendy's or whoever else wants to implement AI as a transcriber, voice-to-text algorithms have gotten amazingly good.
Well, let's be empathetic to our people who are the 2 a.m. heroes of fast food.
Yes.
And there's like a point where...
You can just say Jack in the Box. We can name them.
Yeah. Because there's a part where someone pulls up to the drive-thru and they probably shouldn't be driving. Maybe even walked up to the drive-thru and are now yelling into a box. Those people.
Pull up on a Segway.
Yeah.
I want a reverse.
Like, just give them the AI.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that person. Hand them the AI.
This is fair.
Let them sort it out.
Yeah.
Because they won't bother me now. They'll have a great conversation. They won't remember it tomorrow anyways. They might even get in a fight with the thing.
Or try to take them home, one of the two.
Yeah, they might get in a fight with a Jack in a Box. You're going to be slugging it out. Either way, they're not my problem for the next 10 minutes.
I'm sorry, the thing that popped in my head was, whoa, Jack has hands.
Jack has hands, man. We're going to throw hands. Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't mind AI being implemented.
No, but I don't think it's replacing. It's
AI should not replace humanity in any sense. It should augment it. And that's the crux of this whole thing. And like I mentioned, I recently, I'm working on a piece right now where I visited someone to ask point blank, look, we on the consumer end are hearing AI, and AI is the main driver of enterprise purchases today. Like 80% are going, how can we implement AI in our systems? What are your customers actually doing? Because when consumers hear AI, it means some chatbot thrown into our mouse support.
Yeah.
Or our fast food menu ordering, which
And most
sucks.
businesses are buying it based on FOMO. They're afraid their competitors are doing it.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to miss out if we don't
We don't know
invest
what it's
in
good
AI.
for, but I need to have one of them fancy AI things in my server room.
Right. And so I actually do have a video coming out of actual AI implementations, actual companies, actual examples.
Feel free to use this because this is not something I'm going to do a video on.
Absolutely.
It's something you can.
Yeah.
We named our AI that we use at work. It's called the Bartender because its first purpose was making sure it could do drinks. So it is the bartender, and it's our internal domain, like the bartender CNWR. That is where our salespeople go to do the things, but it says the bartender.
Yeah.
It does actual work.
Yeah.
But the actual work that was tested on it, the first load test on the AI server was mixing all the drinks. It took that was how we tuned it, because there was some challenges where it would come up with some terrible ideas.
Novella Hub wants to know if I enjoyed the first week of our fantasy football league.
Ooh.
So we started a craft computing fantasy football league. We announced it last Wednesday, which, if you're a fan of football or fantasy football at all, you know that there was a kickoff on Thursday and another game in Sao Paulo on Friday. We didn't get the opportunity to hold our draft until Saturday. Now, I picked second in our draft, and we went snake draft. So it goes 1 through 12 and then 12 through 1. My first two picks, knowing that the Eagles played on Thursday, was I got Saquon Barkley number 1 and Jalen Hurts number 2. And so those are my first two picks. And I picked them knowing full well I would not be able to use them on Sunday. I got matched up against Novella Hub. Now this is really fun, because Novella Hub beat me by about 25 points. I had 51 points sitting on my bench. I lost round 1. I lost in the first week. The rest of my year is looking pretty freaking great. So, like, barring massive injury, I think I'm going to be okay.
You know, all right. Well, it is 11.
Yes.
I am.
You got work to do still.
Yep.
Yeah. I stayed up until 1 in the morning last night finishing my slides. Tom's going to do the same thing here in about 5 minutes.
Yep.
So
I have a few slides to add. Ashley sent me some slides.
Yeah.
I may crash and wake up early and do it, but either way.
There you go.
There's a sub point of slice of time.
Yeah, there's 6 hours of which I would need to be unconscious within the next 8.
Yeah.
So I agree with that.
We get 2 hours is a good time.
Yeah, it was very close to 2 hours. So I think we're going to call it here. I will join in the after party, which you can get a part of by joining the Patreon. Link in the description below. That gets you exclusive access to my Discord server, where we have a fantastic community of people that hangs out all through the week. And every week, immediately following the show, we do a live video chat with myself and usually a co-host. Probably not this week, because you got crap to do.
I'll be snoring if you're probably in your room.
Right, exactly.
No one wants that.
But yeah, I'm going to join the after party and hang out for probably about an hour or so until I pass out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, join the Patreon, link in the description, and join in the fun. Other than that, it's going to be a fun week. Day 1 was pretty great. Day 2's looking to be pretty great as well. I'm actually going to sit in on your talk tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
And then on Friday, we're doing some stuff with Dead Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead Mouse. I got to see. Did you look at the server?
I did.
Okay. The server's pretty cool.
I got a glimpse of the thing that Dead Mouse is getting. There's no public images yet. I got a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I have pictures, but they will not be released till after Friday.
We cannot share, but we can tell you there are pictures.
There's cool.
Yeah.
45 Drives learned a new trick.
Yes. So
I liked it. This is gonna be some cool stuff.
Yeah. Something passive. Something.
Yeah. Silent server.
I leaked more than I should. Ashley, you can text me and scold me
It's
later.
dead silent.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Dead Mouse silent. I like that he did all the graphics on it.
Yeah.
The graphics are cool.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. I'm sure you'll see some video content coming out on that. If I get an opportunity to interview Dead Mouse and talk about some things, talk about tech, that will certainly be coming up on my channel as well, because I'm going to take every opportunity to grill him to within an inch of his life.
Interesting guy.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. Anyway, you should all get to bed or join the Patreon. Tom, you should definitely get to bed.
I'm going to get to bed.
Yeah.
I'm going to crash. I would not be productive if I worked on things.
Right, exactly.
I would have to wake up early and fix whatever I did right now. So
right.
we'll just
I suggest bed first and then content later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
If I went to bed now, as I wake up at 5, That gives me 6 hours. I'm good. I sleep on an average 6 hours and 14 minutes.
Yeah.
That is my average sleep time.
Mine's about 6 hours because I have 3 children.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
They don't. I don't know. It's even before kids. I've always woke up early, and it's at least I'm consistent.
Yep. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, all the YouTube integration and engagement stuff.
Yeah.
And as always, we'll see you next week.
Take care.